Okay, so we are live, ladies and gentlemen. And Zedmar, thank you so much for putting us live on the radio. All right, sorry about the delay, sir. I am David Squeeze Annakie right here on 93.5 WVIP FM. I'm with two major stalwarts in the immigration capacity. They are powerful attorneys. So I want everybody, turn up your radios, get ready to start. Let's just build on the amount of people that's listening and watching. So give me 60 seconds. My attorneys, Conrad, Pollack, and Nelson Madrid. Let me just rile up the audience, all right? So everyone that's tuning in right now, all right? We are about to get your immigration questions answered, and that's how I'm going to be jumping it off, all right? So right now, this show is brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico each and every single weekday morning at 9:30 a.m. right here on 93.5 WVIP FM, and also, of course, on Facebook. And don't forget, we're on Saturdays between 6 and 8. I'm pumping up and talking about immigration. I'm talking about personal injury. The same thing on Sundays between 10 and 2. All right. Now, one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, is that, yes, you will get those free phone consultations. But what I'm pushing right now is imploring you to actually hire the attorneys. These are the times that you must use an attorney when it comes to your case. Must. Don't screw it up. Don't mess it up. It's going to cost you more. You're going to get in more trouble. You don't want to be doing your case yourself. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, what I have actually been doing is actually doing the show just to make sure that you're getting the right answers. And this firm will not take your case unless they know that they can truly help you. Once again, we call it the Immigration Link on Cruisin with the Case Handler. Give us a call now. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529. Give us a call, get a free phone consultation, ask your immigration questions, and then, of course, we'll take care of you. On Facebook, do us a favor. Right now, if you can actually share the page that you're watching. I know we got Team Squeeze that share the page each and every single day. I need for you to share the page. We had a wonderful show yesterday, a powerful show yesterday, and we need for you to just share the page, ladies and gentlemen, build it up. We have well over 1,000 views yesterday. We want to have more than yesterday. So make sure you share the page in groups, share the page on your timelines, on pages that you manage, and get folks to get their immigration questions answered. All right, let's move right into it, gentlemen. Good morning. I want to say good morning, Conrad Pollack. You were the first to be on this Zoom session here. Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Working from home today, doing this show, and then on my way up to the Peekskill office to do some work up there. And what was that address in Peekskill, Nelson?
906 South Street, Peekskill, New York.
Yeah, so those of you folks living north of the city, this Peekskill is in northern Westchester County. Parking is real easy. If you have a car and if you don't want to drive into Manhattan, the Peekskill
location. How far is it from the Bronx?
It's about 40 minutes.
Roughly 40-minute drive from the Bronx, but it's a nice drive up along the Hudson River. It's a nice place, and Peekskill actually is a nice little town. It's a town I never really learned about until we opened our office there a few years ago. It's a really nice, upcoming little town. It's nice also from our perspective. There's a very large immigrant community there, and in fact, that town probably has been undergone a renaissance because of the immigrant population that moved in there over the last 10, 20 years. And it's an immigrant success story. It really is. It's a cool little town. So anyone that isn't familiar with it, want to take a drive up to northern Westchester, grab lunch or whatever along the Hudson, it's a really nice place.
There's also plenty of street parking, which is obviously free.
Yep.
So it's pretty convenient. In fact, I've had clients literally go to Peekskill as opposed to coming to New York City. When you come to New York City, you can't really find parking. I don't think that street parking no longer exists. So it's, as Conrad said, it's not, if you think about it, if you take the train into the city or if you drive to Peekskill, I think it's somewhat of a wash. And again, it's convenient. It's not densely populated. There's not a lot of cars. There's not a lot of traffic, and it's a nice ride.
And you can also take the train out there, right?
You can.
Yeah.
The Metro North stops there. It's a 5-minute walk from the office to the train station. And again, it's It's a nice little town. You know, it's come a very long way. There are nice little restaurants opening up in town. During the summer, the center of town, they close it off and make it like a mall, just a walkabout mall. It's a nice little place, really is.
And the air is fresh there. All right.
That's true.
All right.
The air is fresh.
So we're speaking about the law offices of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. They have a location in Peekskill. They also have a location in Brooklyn. And that address, gentlemen?
107 Avenue I. It's it's right on the corner. The F train stops there at the Avenue I train station, which is the trestle, right? In fact, our building overlooks the train tracks there. And the B11 bus stops there, which goes all the way across the borough of Brooklyn to Flatbush and so on. So very conveniently located. We're not open yet in Brooklyn, but we're hoping for an October 1st opening there. Reopening.
All right, no problem. All right. Okay. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's the immigration show, the immigration link. Call it what you want to call it. Cruisin with a case handler. Right now, everybody on Facebook, please share. I need at least 20 shares from everyone watching us on Facebook. And if you're not watching us on Facebook at David Squeeze Annakie or PPID's page or the case handler page, please join Facebook right now and subscribe to the page and follow us, of course. And if you're listening to us on the radio, turn your radios up. I want everyone to get a free phone consultation. If you call now, you can get your immigration questions answered for free. Then after that, you can choose to hire them. But you got to call before 10 a.m. The number to call right now to speak with one of the attorneys happens to be 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. But I cannot continue the show unless Nelson asks me a question. We all know what that is.
Squeeze, are you down with PPID?
Come on, you know, I'm down with PPID. Everybody's down with PPID. Conrad's down with PPID.
I love that.
Everyone on Facebook is down with PPID.
Who started that, Adam?
I think he did.
That's great. It's great.
I think he did.
I think it's like a shot of energy to the show, but
believe me, it does. Speaking about a shot of energy, let's jump right into it, gentlemen. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I've got two immigration attorneys here. The managing partner, Conrad Pollack, and Nelson Madrid, who has been there for approximately 13 years, give or take. And of course, they're ready to answer your immigration questions. So let's get the show on the way. Andre here says, good morning. Does a person has to be employed in order to be a joint sponsor? This is on our Facebook page.
Well, typically you want to show a source of income, right? Unless you have millions of dollars in the bank or you own a lot of assets or, typically something a joint sponsor should always provide is a current employment letter, typically last 3 pay stubs and literally typically last 3 years of tax returns. So if you don't have a job, how are you going to be a joint sponsor? I mean, again, how much money, money in the bank eventually runs out. So obviously the more income you could show, the better, and showing a steady stream of income is always a good thing.
Yeah, look, the short answer to that is 99% of the time, the answer is yes to that question. If you're going to be a joint sponsor, the purpose of being a joint sponsor is to show that you can afford to support the person you're sponsoring. And if you're not working, unless you're a very rich man like David Annakie, yeah, that's not happening.
Right. Hey, Conrad, when you have as many kids as me, man, you know where the money goes. Right? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a nice joke there this morning. All right. Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, call them now. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. All right, here's one. Can someone enter the U.S. while waiting for an immigrant visa? F2A. Please note that the person had a tourist visa before the I-130 petition was filed.
All right, well, that's actually a good question. F2A, that means he's either the child or the spouse of a permanent resident, and he's applying for his green card. So he's demonstrated an intent to immigrate to the United States. Now, as we've said on the show many times, it is a common precept of immigration law that every person coming to the United States is presumed to be an immigrant. In order to get a tourist visa or a student visa or exchange visitor visa or most work visas, you have to demonstrate that that you're coming to the United States just temporarily, just to visit or study or whatever. And again, the law presumes the opposite. The law presumes you're coming to immigrate. To get a tourist visa, you have to demonstrate the contrary. Now, this person has applied for a green card. So they've removed any doubt as to their intentions. They're applying for a green card. That means they're coming to stay here permanently. To get a tourist visa now is going to be very difficult. However, if they have a valid tourist visa already, which it sounds like they do, the answer is yes. They can come here using that visa. I don't know they're going to get another one anytime soon. I don't know when it's expiring because, again, they've indicated an intent to immigrate. But if they have a current valid tourist visa, they can come. If they come and they're asked at the airport why they're coming or have you ever applied for a green card, better tell the truth, though. All right, that's important because they'll probably know. They'll probably know that he applied for his green card, and they might be testing him to see if he's telling the truth about it.
Right.
You know, I want to ask a follow-up question, Conrad, and it's a common question several callers and viewers have had. So what happens if you apply for a tourist visa and your tourist visa is denied? Can you reapply? And if so, how long should you wait before you reapply?
Look, most people that apply for tourist visas, of course, depending on where, but the vast majority of tourist visas are denied. The vast majority of applications are denied, especially Western Hemisphere and the Caribbean and South America, for various reasons, including a high instance of fraud in a lot of these places. Most of those visas are usually denied. If you get denied, it's not going to affect you applying for your green card unless you lied, committed some kind of fraud. Typically, you have to wait 6 months to reapply.
Gotcha. Good one. Good one. Yes, just validating. We had 1,600 views yesterday on our show. Great show yesterday. And once again, this is Cruising with a Case Handler. It's a show on personal injury and, yes, on immigration. Today's focus, of course, obviously, we have two immigration stalwarts here, my new word. All right, that's answering the immigration questions. So make sure you call them at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Also want to let you know that the firm is also about personal injury, and that is a department within the firm that Adam Handler handles. That man has accepted well over $125 million for the clients, ladies and gentlemen. Very serious, aggressive, sharp-minded kind of attorney when it comes to going after the insurance companies for you. God forbid you get hurt in an accident. So one stop, ladies and gentlemen, multiple departments, and of course, very proficient, competent attorneys at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. 844-774-3529. Call that number, set up an appointment with them, get a phone consultation, and take it from there. Here's another one. My fiance and I plan to elope. I am Canadian and he's American, and they're planning on doing this when they visit next month. 1, what kind of paperwork must I fill out for a courthouse wedding? We plan on getting the visa afterwards when I return to Canada after visiting. 2, what visa would I have to get if we're already married prior to the application? Gentlemen?
So, you know, it's she wants to come into the United States. How is she coming into the United States? As a visitor to marry in the United States?
It sounds
right. That's what it sounds like, right?
That's what she said, yeah.
And that's a problem, right? Because as Conrad just said moments ago, when you enter as a visitor, your visit is supposed to be quote unquote temporary in nature.
Yeah.
So if you come in and you marry your spouse, you may potentially have a fraud issue. Because obviously at the time you entered, you knew your visit wouldn't be temporary in nature if obviously you had intentions on marrying someone, right?
Well, let me stop you there. That depends. Typically that's correct, but I think what she said, she's just coming here, she's going to marry, and then she's going to leave. So if she does that, if she comes in, and by the way, Canadians don't need to go to a consulate to get a visa. Basically, she can just enter. However, there is a problem there in terms of crossing the border. Because there's a ban right now. The border's closed. Besides that, though, if she's coming here and is going to marry and then leave, then there won't be an intent issue. There won't be a fraud issue there, Nelson.
Right. Okay. True. So again, and obviously if they come in, they marry, and then she leaves, then he would have to file an I-130 petition for her, and she would have to consular process and eventually wait for her visa to become available in Canada. And
yeah,
that's how she would.
It's a little complicated because also it sounds like, look, she's going to come here, marry this guy, and then leave and then apply for a visa, it's not going to happen. All right, you're not going to get a visa after you
She
get
also
married.
said, what if they were already married prior to the application?
Prior to what application? The visa application?
What visa would I have to get if we're already married prior?
Again, if they're already married, she's not going to get a visa. She can apply for a fiance visa, even though they're already married, but
Right.
that's a waste of time. I would say just apply for the green card direct. Thing is, she comes here, marries, and then leaves. She's not going to be able to get a visa to come back here, and she may have a problem getting back into the United States once she's married to a U.S. citizen. So if she does that, based on the information we have at hand, I would say right now, she's not coming back here. She's going to stay in Canada until she gets a green card, which could be a year, year and a half. This is a situation. This is not something they want to do themselves. You need to call us. You need to call us. You need a lawyer in this situation. Right. Don't screw around with this.
This is not similar to the case that you handled ages ago, where you had your the colleague come on the show. Is it the professor in Long Island?
No. He was Canadian. No. He was already here. He got married here, and then he did an employment-based case. And no, totally different.
Okay. All right. There you go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cruising with a Case Handler, the immigration link version. And we want everyone out there that need to have their immigration questions answered. Call the most powerful law firm, in my opinion, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Get those questions answered. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make that call now, ladies and gentlemen. 844-774-3529. Let's get to another question right now, right here, on, of course, the immigration link version of Cruising with a Case Handler. All right. Hi, if someone made a mistake on the I-485 form that's already submitted to USCIS by mail, how can he fix the mistake? I always tell people.
Typically, you can fix that at the interview.
And what's the mistake? How significant is the mistake? Did he just misspell his first name, or did he put down?
Did he leave out an arrest?
You know, really, what's the mistake?
So just to answer your question, any mistake typically can be fixed at the interview. There's something that's called timely retraction, right? And basically, you want to correct any error or omission at the first available opportunity that you have. Let me give you an example, which is a case we have right now. A gentleman applied for citizenship in 2016. They asked him if he had ever used any other names, and he said no. In 2019, they scheduled him for another interview, and they confronted him. And at that point, he came clean. Okay, they just denied his application for fraud. Okay, because in 2016, he said he had never used another name. When they called him in 2019, it was literally to confront him with this negative information that they now knew. So that's not timely retraction, right? Because the only reason you're coming clean is because you got caught.
Right.
So, you know, if he made an error or omission on his 485 when he goes to the interview, it's something that he should immediately try to address and bring to the officer's attention. If he doesn't, if he simply sits back and says, well, I'm not going to say anything unless he asks me, and they later find out, he could potentially have a fraud issue. Okay. Now, you know, even with a fraud or misrepresentation issue, now it hinges on whether or not it's material, right? What is material? Material is when, if that lie is believed, can affect or influence the adjudicator's decision, right? So let me give you an example. You know, if you got arrested for having an open container, that would not disqualify you from legalizing your status, right? So hypothetically, you forgot to disclose it. Obviously, your lawyer would argue it's immaterial, and here's why, right? Now, if you got caught for drug possession, drug sale, weapons possession, right? And you don't disclose it, that's material, because technically that would make you inadmissible, okay? Weapons possession actually would make you, I believe, removable, not inadmissible. But, you know, that again, if the officer believes what you're telling him, then you would be entitled to an immigration benefit because you lied. So that could potentially lead to a denial, lead to removal proceedings. Also, they may say you committed fraud, which now requires a waiver. And it becomes from a little problem, it becomes a very big problem.
Gotcha. Well said, well put. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the immigration link version of Cruisin with a Case Handler. Right now, make that call, ladies and gentlemen, to 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. I don't care who you are, where you are, what ethnicity, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation. I don't care. If you need immigration help, you need to call one company and one company only. Don't fool yourself. A lot of lollygagging people out there on the corner of wherever, Eastern Parkway, Gunnell Road, all these places. Don't, please. I know sometimes people say what it is that you want to hear, and you don't need that. Go with a proficient company, go with a competent company. Look, these are attorneys. They're on the radio station. They're actually doing the show every single day. You don't hear those people doing that. You want to know why? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of crap going on out there. But not only that, there is so much complication and complexities in actually doing one's case now. Do not believe everything you see on the internet. Okay, some of it, in my opinion, is entrapment. And
Please. I want to I've got another great story. It's another new case we just signed up.
Mm-hmm.
This lady starts a case with another attorney.
Right.
Her attorney retires. When her attorney retires, his associate takes over her case.
Right.
Okay. Her associate has a